Hello everyone, and welcome to a Doctor Who review with me, John Parker, and
Me, Jack Curling, and...
Me, Cody.
Well, my expectations, I believe, were well lived.
Yes, I
mm,
agree.
I
Now,
agree.
I was aware that Mark Gatiss was actually writing this episode, therefore I had high expectations, and as I just said, they were indeed well lived, and I was very well impressed. Very well impressed with this episode, the Empress of Mars, episode 9. It was a really, really good episode. I absolutely loved it to bits. The basic plot was that a message was discovered on Mars that was miraculously left in the past. However, I'm not quite sure why no one had ever picked it up before. And when I say no one had ever picked it up, I mean, like, for example, the waters of Mars. You know, I'm pretty sure something like that would have been noticed, especially by the first expedition. You know, so, and of course, the waters of Mars didn't really go into too much detail in regards to the Ice Warriors, but of course, the chemical that made the humans turn into those weird things was somehow related. So I'm not quite sure why they never brought it up in the past. I suppose
It had already been removed by then.
Well, that, or you can play it off as
possibly
this wasn't a planned episode
true.
at the time. You know what Doctor Who's like. You could go and change something.
That's true. Yeah, I suppose you're right in a way. But I mean, like, because obviously the first expedition in Mars, who set that base up, was like in the year, what, 21 something? So I'm not quite sure they didn't have why they didn't have a record of incidents that happened on Mars before. But perhaps, like you said, John, perhaps it was removed, or perhaps it was never spoken of. So I suppose in a way that they do have a scapegoat, I suppose. So in a way, I suppose you can let him off with that, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the TARDIS trio go and investigate as to when and why the message was actually sent and who actually left it. Soon after, they discovered that a Victorian army who assisted a marooned ice warrior, where? In Africa, was it, did they say? Yes, it was in Africa.
Something like that, yeah.
And in return for their help, this ice warrior offered to reward them with shiny gems. But of course, as soon as the TARDIS trio actually got there, for some unknown reason, after Bill had fallen through a hole, and Nardole went to go and get some equipment to help her out, the TARDIS took off by itself.
Can I put a point there, actually?
Yep,
I was having
go
a
ahead.
conversation with John before we started the video. I'm not too sure what caused that. I hope they go into it, because otherwise it's going to be another thing which just seems like a plot device.
I have an idea.
One of the things we talked about was that it's perhaps because Missy said at the end that, "Are you all right, Doctor?" It could be that something's wrong with the Doctor and the TARDIS is reacting to it.
But well, no, that's really good actually.
Because Missy might have picked up on that.
But I was thinking that because what happened on Mars was never a fixed point. Because the Doctor was, as you saw at the very end of the episode, responsible for leaving the message in the first place. Therefore, what happened on Mars was a fixed point in time. Therefore, the TARDIS must have realised what was going on and therefore took off. And that's why Nardole couldn't go back, because the TARDIS wasn't going to interfere in events.
The TARDIS prevented them from leaving so that they could carry out the fixed point in time.
Yeah, that's my theory. That's the reason why I think the TARDIS was not allowed. But of course, Missy, being a Time Lord, would have gotten through that. But when she did eventually do that, the Doctor had left the message. So did she get the TARDIS back there, or was the TARDIS like, oh, the Doctor's done now, so who cares? I can go back now.
So, or it just guided, or the TARDIS allowed Missy to travel back, but only until after the events had finished.
But I agree with your point, Tom, in that, you know, I do also hope that they kind of pick this up slightly, but from what I can tell, I don't think they're going to, unfortunately.
I mean, there's another thing which I'm probably using misinformation here, but I
No, go
always
ahead.
thought the TARDIS only listened to the pilot, and then the pilot said that it was okay to listen to. But thinking on me saying that before the video started, the same thing happened in Utopia, where the Master was able to just take the TARDIS.
Yeah, if the TARDIS was
So
so
maybe
powerful,
it's just a Time Lord thing.
yeah, no, that is true.
Because
That is
I
very
was
possible.
wondering how the Master was even,
Well, actually,
Missy was allowed to use the TARDIS to start with.
It could be that you could. I mean, this might be an ex machina really thought line here, but it could be based around the idea of fixed points. If you remember, John Simm's Master, he'd already existed way before then. I mean, we first heard of the Saxon in Runaway Bride. That was the first time we heard of it. So it had already been happening. It was meant to happen, effectively making it a fixed point in time when he goes back. Which means the TARDIS would have allowed him to do it because it was meant to happen.
So,
Yeah.
what you're saying is if something is a fixed point, the TARDIS
We'll allow it.
will let it. Okay, that still doesn't explain how Missy was to fly the TARDIS back, though, unless
Because
the Doctor
they've got to
trusts
get back
Missy
somewhere.
to fly the TARDIS.
Yeah, or because they have to get back.
Yeah,
The TARDIS likes the Doctor, obviously.
if the TARDIS can
Right,
take off
right.
by itself, it can come back by itself.
Mhm.
So it didn't need Missy there at all. So it could have ignored her input. In fact, maybe that is what happened.
Yeah, because that's I don't think Missy actually had much involvement with that. I think yes, she pulled the switch to go back, but the TARDIS was like, well, it's all done now. The fixed point is, you know, it's over. Therefore, I can go back if I want to. So I think it's going to be one of those things that isn't going to be explained. I think it's
There's
just
going to be
like,
a lot of online theories.
I really, really hope they do explain it, because I really, as much as it's kind of a mute point, I really would like to know,
when
like,
things like this happen.
what would have caused that sort of event,
Yeah.
or why the TARDIS would just
Because
fuck
I
off.
tell you why it's useful for us to know that. It's because for us, like in Second Life, we do our role plays, and even people in real life who do cosplays. It's really useful to be able to incorporate that kind of information in the role play.
the problem
Yeah.
you've got with that though is that this refers to the bootstrap paradox.
Mm.
That the origin of, for example, a fixed point in time will never be revealed because technically there isn't one. Well, there is, but you've God knows what you got to do to find it. Yeah, God knows what you got to do to try and get to the origin of that. I mean, I don't think even the universe would even allow it, but yeah, so it's going to be one of those things that would never be explained, I don't think. But yeah, that was a pretty good, call it a debate, I'll call that. Yeah, that was a pretty good debate, that was. I like that. Of course, we got to see a full army, didn't we? A full army of Ice Warriors in this episode. The first time we've seen a full army since the classic series. And
Yeah, that was nice.
I have to say, right, that, and this is why this episode, I believe, was brilliant when it came to both the humans and the Ice Warriors, is that I couldn't care, well, who won. Actually, you know what? I wanted the Ice Warriors to win because of that
I wanted
dick
the Ice
commander.
Warriors to win. My God, I hated him.
Yeah, I really wanted him just to get shot by one of them. I really
And
did.
also, can I just say, and this is what really highlighted this episode for me, nice bright yellow colouring, is when the Colonel shot him, and then he wanted to die, and the Queen actually gave him mercy. I was really happy about that. It felt, I like it when monsters give mercy. You know, they become better than what we expect them to be.
The Ice Warriors aren't inherently a bad race. It's like the Doctor was saying.
They have honour.
They're only bad if you piss them off.
Yep.
So when they were going to negotiate just fine until the humans shot them.
Yeah.
Like that was what caused the. So basically, I think it's perfectly understandable that the Queen, Empress, whatever she was referred to as, would show mercy when the guy that was about to kill her was shot by one of his own. It's like she said.
Yeah.
You shot one of your own kind without hesitation. That's impressive. It's like, well, yeah.
Also, I have to admit, I was a bit weirded out by the whole weapon thing that just turned people into whatever the fuck happened there.
Blocks.
I suppose you.
Balls.
I don't know what the hell happened.
I think what happened.
That was weird.
I think for what because I was trying to look at it and go, what actually happened there, and I think it somehow crushes the body part, and all the clothes get crushed in with it, so it just becomes a pile of clothes in a box.
It was really weird. I don't know. I was weirded out by that. I was like, what the hell just happened then? It was really weird. It was really weird, but at the same time, interesting. So between the humans and the Ice Warriors, that kind of feud, I think, was just amazing and perfectly well written. And like I said, Mark Gatiss is, I think, he's a fabulous writer. And of course, he's had a lot of involvement with Doctor Who, not just in Stephen Moffat's era, but also in Russell T Davies' era as well. So, honestly, if anyone could run Doctor Who, I think Mark Gatiss could.
I've got a funny, weird feeling. I think I did some reading recently about when Chris Chibnall takes over.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not sure, please don't use my information as truth here, but when the BBC were resetting this, I think Mark Gatiss won't be involved, because I'm sure it said that he was wishing that he could, but they reset it, I think. But I could be wrong there, but it did sound as if the entire writing team was being
in that
reset.
case, if anyone at the BBC is watching this, which I most perfectly doubt, don't you dare. Yeah, that's true. But either way, I'm gonna. But I need to.
I would really like Mark Gatiss to sound the team, but if he's not, then that's a little bit shame. But...
I mean, I know they won't listen, but I will just say it anyway because it needs to be said. Don't you dare get rid of Mark Gatiss, because you'll piss me off otherwise. But yeah, I know the BBC won't see this, but you know what? Just saying it, just putting it out there. So after the original commander shot that dick of a arse.
Shot that dick in the dick.
Obviously, he wanted to die because of his personal issues, but of course, after the Queen granted him mercy and offered him to join her forces and to ensure that he pledged his allegiance to her and her army, everyone was let go. Everyone was just free to go wherever. Actually, saying that, where did they go? I know the commander went with...
there, I think.
Yeah, remember you saw at the end, they were being picked up by a ship, weren't they?
The funny thing is as well, though, is that through this, and this is the last point I'll make, is wouldn't they have realised after all this time, actually, there's something else that didn't quite add up? Think about it. They're from the Victorian era.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so the message was sent from that time. Okay, no, that's fine. I was getting confused between past and present there for a moment, or past, present, and future, because I was thinking why they didn't realise, or why they wouldn't have thought that Queen Victoria was already dead. But no, it's okay because the message was sent during the Victorian times. Okay, that's fine. That's my confusion. Unconfused.
Am I right in saying the humans stayed on the planet with the Ice Warriors?
Say again.
Am I right in saying the humans stayed on the planet with the Ice Warriors?
That's what I assume so.
Because when the Colonel was brought back into power from the Queen, would he have been with his men, with them, like two forces together, and then they would have gone off?
Probably. Although I want to know what that alien was.
That's a really weird alien, wasn't it? Literally them like, what should we make a quick alien just to...
You know what I thought that was?
What?
And this is going to sound incredibly daft, but I thought that was the voice of Queen Victoria.
I did as well. I did. Yeah.
Sorry. One point I want to make as well is well done to them for continuity. The picture of Queen Victoria.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
it was her from Series 2. Yeah. So that was good. That was really good. Really good.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it was the portrait of the actress who actually played Queen Victoria in Tooth and Claw.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Actually, just pause right there for a moment because, was
What?
it Tooth and Claw? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the one that Queen
Never
Victoria's in.
I was seeing who wrote it. It was
Wait,
also...
wasn't Queen Victoria referenced in Day of the Doctor?
No, you're thinking of Queen Liz 2. No,
yeah,
Queen Liz 1.
Queen Elizabeth was
That
referenced.
was it. Sorry, yeah, I got
Yeah.
the two.
Who was also referenced back in Shakespeare times when she went to have the Doctor's head. All the way back in 2007. The continuity.
I know, it's great, isn't it? It is fucking gorgeous. But no, other than that, that was an absolute fantastic episode, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, going back to a point you made, John, Missy's reaction with the Doctor, and the Doctor's reaction to Missy. At that
confused me.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you out the vault, okay, let's go back and put you back in. But no, the Doctor seemed very, very concerned. And I'm like, what's wrong?
Terrified.
Yeah, and she was confused. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
I'm thinking potentially the concern was that Missy was out of the vault and in her TARDIS.
True.
His TARDIS. I mean, let's look at last time the Master was in the Doctor's TARDIS.
Yeah. That is a very good point. A very good point. Yeah.
Otherwise, I can't see the need for him to be concerned.
There's something else going on. I mean, besides Missy
being
because
otherwise
vault,
it wouldn't end with her saying, "Are you all right?"
I am intrigued by that line because, maybe fair enough. It is just her asking him if he is all right, but I don't believe for 1 second that's all it is.
No, there's
we'll find out.
There's something else going on.
Remember, as I said to Cody before we start this video, the next episode is The Eaters of Light, and that's written by Rona Munro. And then after that, it's Stephen Moffat's episodes, World Enough and Time, and The Doctor Falls. So there's only 3 more episodes to go. Yeah, it is. I think so. By the looks of it.
I am semi looking forward to those, to be honest. Because I'm not quite sure how that's going to pan out. Of course, we've got John Sim coming along, so that's going to help it out a little bit, but I don't know. John
Sim, there's rumours flying about this being a completely different regeneration. I mean, I don't know if that's happening at Christmas or at the end of this series still yet.
Well, either way, we shall find out, but for now...
No.
What?
In an interview with Peter Capaldi on the Graham Norton show, he said he had already filmed the death that was before filming the Christmas special.
So he's going to regenerate in series?
He's going to die in the series. Whether or not he regenerates at the end of it, maybe the start of the regeneration is at the end of the Doctor Falls, we don't know. But the new Doctor will be in the Christmas special.
Do you know what would blow my fucking mind?
What?
If it turns out that it's John Sim's Master that kills Peter Capaldi's Doctor.
Yeah. But then that means that Missy knew all along that this was going to happen.
Yeah. And you don't think the Master is messed up enough to keep that a secret?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because... Come on, the Master's a lunatic. She's going to want to leave clues out, or kind of not rub it in, but, kind of give hints, tease.
So I'll give you a small little bit of trivia, though, that I learnt recently as well.
What?
Is that Michelle Gomez, when she was brought in for Series 10, she had no idea that she would be working with John Sim. And so when they went to the reading, where they did the first reading, they were already given the scripts before this. But when they went to the main first reading, she walked into the room, saw John Sim, and was like, oh, that's nice, John's here. It's very nice, good to see John. And didn't really put 2 and 2 together. And then when she was actually sitting down and reading the script and they got up to the part, she was surprised throughout the whole thing. And she said that's the best thing about Stephen Moffat's writing, she says, is that you just don't know what's going to happen next. Because
the best thing, she says.
She kept saying, she was going ooh and throughout the reading because she wasn't expecting any of this. And then she said it was great to work with John. Her and John was a really good team. So perhaps when they work together in an episode, it's going to be good.
Hashtag Team Master.
But anyway, verdicts. So, John, out of 10, what would you give this episode?
It was a thoroughly good episode. It got me. It really surprised me, and I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much, but I did. I really want to save my 10s. I really do. So I'm just going to say I'm going to give it the highest I possibly can without it being a 10, and that is, of course, a 9.5.
Okay.
Sure, that's 9.9.
Well, technically, if you want to be technical, about
that's
it,
the highest you can get.
If you want to be technical about it,
it's 9.9.
No, recurring.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, Cody, out of 10.
I thought that was actually. I mean, what we thought was going to be a filler episode.
Yeah.
After what we've seen was it 2 parts or 3 parts? The monk thing. It was 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, after that,
that was a drag. That was.
Like what we expected would be a filler episode leading up to the end of the series was actually a very good filler episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice to see the Ice Warriors back. It's nice to see them interacting. Like, whereas the last time we saw them, it was
just one of them.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
It was one of them that came out of its shell.
Yeah, like a lot of them was very nice to see. So I shall give it a. I don't know. I've used so many 10s up in these bloody reviews. Problem is, I did thoroughly enjoy it though.
Maybe what you think?
I think it deserves another 10.
Oh, okay. No,
I'm gonna run out of 10.
No, that is perfectly fine.
10 over here, 10 over there.
For me, because of how good this episode was, but also I do want to save my 10, hopefully, for the finale. So I'm going to also give it a 9.5.
And there we go, guys. Give it a rating yourself, please, in the card that's just popped up.
Do please do, and we will see you in the next video. So until then, see you soon.
Bye bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you, folks, for watching. If you enjoyed, do please leave a like or comment below on this video.
If you want more, on Jack's side is the last video and the recommended video that we've suggested to you.
To stay tuned for more, on John's right is the link to our channel so you can subscribe, and also we have a link to our website if you want more information about who we are and what we do. Until next time,
take care, stay safe,
and remember,
let your geeks out. Bye bye, guys.